Good morning, everybody. I appreciate all of our industry partners joining us today for National Manufacturing Day, and thank you to all of our attendees for being here today as well. What we're going to do first is allow each of our panelists today to tell you who they are, what company they're with, and what they do. And then, of course, we will have some questions that they'll be giving answers to and kind of letting you know what it's like to work in the advanced manufacturing industry these days. So we'll go ahead and get started. Martin, would you go ahead and start and tell us a little bit about Jack Daniel's?
We are the Jack Daniel's Cooperage located in Trinity, Alabama, which is right beside Decatur. We make the barrels that support the Jack Daniel's distillery in Lynchburg. So this company is the first cooperage that has been built in 40 years. You know, the equipment that we have is state-of-the-art and a lot of one-off prototype equipment, so it's specialized. A lot of German manufactured equipment that we have. It's a highly specialized equipment that's used in the cooperage of barrels.
Thank you, Martin. Nick, would you like to tell us a little bit about Sunoco?
Yes, I'm Nick Bates with Sunoco Products. We're located in Hartselle, Alabama. We have 3 facilities in Hartselle. At the 3 facilities in Hartselle, we make molded plugs for the paper industry, wooden cable reels for the wire and cable, and also steel reels for the wire and cable industry. Sunoco is a global packaging company, so a lot of your household items, Sunoco makes packages for the resealable Oreo containers, Planters peanuts, Pringles cans. We've got a wide variety of packaging solutions.
Thank you. Don, would you like to tell us a little bit about YKTA?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So good morning, everyone. YKTA, we are a new company. We're a joint venture between 3 very successful companies that supply parts to the automobile industry. We are YTech, Kelex, and I came from the T part, so Toyotetsu. We make stamping welding parts in support of the new Mazda Toyota manufacturing plant in Madison, Alabama. I've been with the company about 20 years and just moved to the area about 9 months ago, so still learning.
Wonderful, thank you. Laura, how about LP?
So LP has been in business for over 45 years. Here locally in Hanceville, we have been in business over 25 years. We manufacture oriented strand board, which is used in your home for structural. It's in the floor, your walls, your roofing structure, and we have several different product lines that we run here in Hanceville.
Thank you all so much for that. We'll go ahead and get started. So the first question is, what led you into the manufacturing industry?
So for me, you know, manufacturing has always been a prominent staple in our North Alabama area. And one of the things when, like so many students, it's in high school, you've been in school for 12, 13 years, 14 years, you're ready to kind of move on with your life. For me, 4-year degree just wasn't in the plan. And that's when I had pursued my 2-year degree at Wallace. And I knew I wanted to be an industrial electrician. And that's when I got into the business then. And like I said, manufacturing has always been such a viable piece of our communities around here. So that's the reason I got into it.
Thank you. Anybody else want to share?
So same story as Martin. I joined in the manufacturing environment. My first year out of high school was really just a laborer, and realized then that I wanted to do something more with my hands, be hands-on, and that's when I started pursuing a degree in advanced manufacturing.
Well, for my part, I came into the manufacturing arena later in my career. I had done other professional work and decided that the manufacturing presented the opportunity for me as well as others to work into a better career.
Wonderful. Anybody else before we move on?
Sure, I'll interject something. I had just come out of the Army, 7-year stint, and they happened to be building LP right in my backyard, about a mile from the house. So I came up, applied, hounded on them until they hired me, and 28 years later, here I still am.
It's wonderful to hear the different perspectives on how you got there and what your journeys were. So, okay, so what is the working environment and equipment like in your industry currently, and how has it changed since you've been in the industry?
In the cooperage industry, we have all this specialized equipment. Being in the business for 28 years, I've seen it go from a technological standpoint to the manual relays and control relays to, our PLC logic to, robotics and automation. And so the world has really changed over the course of the past 30 years for me. Just being able to be a part of that, it's a great thing. But to go with the growing times, we have to have our technicians in institutions like Wallace State or some of our other places like RTT that can give specialized training to the students and our technicians.
Yeah, and I can agree with that. When I started some over 20 years ago in Kentucky at our Toyotetsu plant there, our building, we housed, like I say, in the welding department, we had one robot. Now, through expansion and advancement in technology, we have well over 300 robots doing the work that we used to do essentially manually with single spot welders and various multi-welders. So the technology advances are vast.
Yeah, and I can interject on both of them. They spot on for as what we got here at LP. We started out with basically a lot of relay logic. It was 2 computers, I think, in the entire mill. Now we are all PLC controlled, HMI, no more push buttons except for e-stops. We only have one robot that paints our units, but we do have one, and everything else is basically automated and controls itself out there.
So when I started with Sunoco about 14 years ago, everything was relay logic, motor controls. Over the years, we've transitioned into automation. The plant that I'm currently responsible for is completely automated. We have 8 operators that man it 24/7. There's 9 customized molded machines. There's none like it in the U.S. or anywhere. We got to lead the team to install our first robot within our division in Sunoco. Come a long ways in 14 years.
And I haven't had the opportunity to see your facilities yet, thanks to COVID, but I'm looking forward to seeing all of this soon. So thank you all for that. So when you are recruiting or hiring new employees now, particularly maintenance technicians, what kind of training or skill sets or employability characteristics are you looking for?
Well, for me, I always look for the strong skill set in the electrical side, because today's times, they've changed to the point now where technicians are all multi-craft. And instead of, back in the day when you had your E&I and you had your mechanics and your maintenance mechanics and your welders, my guys do it all. So I look for that strong skill set on the electrical side, because I can take someone that has electrical knowledge and, make a mechanic out of them versus taking a mechanic and making an electrician out of them because they're scared to death of electricity. So those are the skill sets I look for. And then also I look for that personable side of being able to have somebody that can be mentored and developed and trained to be a leader.
So at Sunoco, I look for the same thing. Like Martin said, it's easier to take an electrician and give him some mechanical ability than right the opposite, because most of the time when you run across a mechanic, they are scared of electricity. One of the things to look at also recruiting is the willing and the want to learn. If somebody comes in thinking they know everything, it's just hard to teach them anything. And from coming straight out of high school, you just got to find somebody that has the willing, they have hobbies, working on vehicles, helping out on the farm, or just working with their hands. Because coming into the manufacturing environment, especially as a maintenance technician, you don't have the want to learn. Like we've all stated, technology just keeps changing daily, and for our businesses to be successful, we have to keep up with those times. So technicians just constantly having to learn new things.
Well, here at LP, I guess we're one of the few companies left that we are split up. I still have the E&I techs and the just the electrical guys. The hammer mechanics, we like to call them, are on the other side. So we do work together, but when I'm looking for a guy here for the shop, I like to look for somebody, like everybody else said, somebody that likes to work with their hands, that's willing to learn. We have brought guys in the past that were very, very experienced, but it seems like none of them ever worked out. So I look too for the younger guys that are eager, want to get in there and learn the new way, and guys with a lot of computer experience, because that's all we use anymore around here. They've got to know how to use a computer or they're no good to me. And the electrical part we've got now where we're we're hiring the guys we like, and we're actually sending them to school up at Wallace to learn the electrical part.
Don, anything else you want to allow?
No, they summed it up. It's a willingness to learn. The experience is great. Like somebody said, the rapidly changing technology, you have to be willing to get in there and explore new concepts and ideals and grasp a wide range, because all of our maintenance technicians, while they'll be divided up into stamping and welding, they're essentially both departments are going to have to be multi-skilled.
Thank you all. And one of the things that just in my short time that I have heard from our AMTs is the importance of teamwork. And I think that kind of goes along with a lot of what you all are saying, the willingness to learn, but being a part of a team. So I think that's important too. So thank you for that. So every one of you on the panel today, I think, are currently sponsoring students in our FAME chapter, which for those on the call who may not know what that is, that's the Federation of Advanced Manufacturing Education. In that program, students pursue their associate's degree in electronics technology, and they also work for a qualified manufacturer. So for the panel, why did your company decide to join FAME, and what do you think from the industry side, so maybe for companies who are interested in joining, and then also for the student side, what you see them getting out of the program?
So for me, it was what I guess really impressed me about the program was, they teach these students the soft skills that are not taught, right? They really focus on safety, which, today's our driving culture in industry today, is safety first. And I believe everybody on the panel will agree. The other thing that really attracted me was the fact that they teach, the lean methodologies. Me being a Six Sigma black belt, that really caught my eye, because when these students come into, my place of work, they understand what language I'm speaking, and I don't have to retrain. To me, that really set them apart from any other organization that I've been involved with, to be able to have these students work alongside, the technicians for the 5 semesters, and get to know and make sure that they mesh with the team, for lack of a better word, that try before you buy kind of mentality, just to see if they mesh. That was, that's a win too. And then, the last thing, being able to give a student an opportunity that when I graduated school, everybody wanted 5 to 8 years experience. Well, I was just getting out of school. So, it was one of those things that I'm being able to give that opportunity to a student now that I didn't get when I came through.
One thing for us at LP was just the opportunity to build our future shop. So, we were at the point where we had a lot of older generation that were looking to retire, and making sure that we were constantly keeping that flow of new electricians and millwrights. So this program gave us the opportunity for them to learn our business while going to school, and ensuring that we have that constant flow of new people joining and building that program.
Anyone else?
So Sunoco has been in FAME for going on 8 years now. We joined the Wallace chapter as soon as they opened up, because Sunoco is located in Hartsville, so we participate at the Calhoun and the Wallace branch, and it's kind of a win-win for us because we're centrally located. And what I've seen with the FAME program is that it gives the students coming fresh out of high school an opportunity to get on-job training and classroom training at the same time. And what we try to do is we work with what their schoolwork is. So if they're learning about motor controls, we'll actually take them out on the floor and expose them to it, and show them how it works in the real world environment. And then we'll bring them back in the shop with our trainers and actually walk them through how it works. We can put bugs in the system on the trainer, allow them to troubleshoot it in a safe environment.
That's one of the things about the program that most impressed me too, the partnership with the industry and the college, and making sure that what they're doing in their classes and in their labs, line up with what they're doing on the job. It really helps them hone those skill sets. So anybody else? Okay. Obviously this is National Manufacturing Day. And so I just would like for maybe each of you to tell, if there are students on the call today, why do you think that they should consider a job in the manufacturing industry? What about that is appealing or should be appealing to them?
Well, for me, again, in our area, the industry is so strong. The manufacturing is where the jobs are, and in this program here, it allows you to, like Nick said, get the real world experience and the classroom experience. And then the piece of it is that if you do it right, if you do the program right, you start off debt free, and then you've got a bigger chance of advancement after that. Again, the willingness to learn, the willingness to be a good fit with the team, having that right attitude, it helps so much. And some people, like myself, later on in life, I went back and got my bachelor's degree, and I'm fixing to start back to school and get my master's degree. To me, it's just a progression of how you want your career to go, really. And this really gives you the foothold to where you can get into some of these plants like Jack Daniels. We do the tuition reimbursement after you've been there for a year, which is huge. It is exciting to be able to offer that to a student or to an employee. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
One thing we often hear from potential candidates is that they're looking for stability. And I think that LP in and of itself is stable. We've been in business, like I said, for over 45 years. And our products that we manufacture are used to provide shelter and home improvements and all sorts of things that are not going away. So we definitely provide that stability, but then there's also ample opportunity. Even if you started out as an entry-level position, there's room for growth, and a lot of times we promote from within. So I think that's a great reason to join the manufacturing industry, is just for that stability and for that opportunity.
Yeah, agreed.
Again, I just agree with everybody about the opportunity and what manufacturing can provide and the stability. As I was saying, when I came to the area in January, YKTA will be employing about 650 people, MTM will be employing about 4,000, and that doesn't include the other suppliers. So there's vast opportunities in manufacturing, as well as everyone else that's on the call in this area. So it's a wonderful place to be and provides opportunities for you and your family.
Thank you all for that.
I will say thanks to Wallace State for hosting the call today, as well as getting the FAME chapter started. I think it's a really great thing for our community and our, future as manufacturing industry, just to have this opportunity to get the students in the program and get them trained and out on the floor at our facilities.
Thank you, Laura. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody's time today, and thank you all, and happy National Manufacturing Day.